Hello guys, my name is Luka Perkovic and I'm from Croatia and I'm going to do my Q&A. Okay, this is gonna be like slightly weird in the beginning until I get used to it. I'm not really used to talking to camera and I'm definitely not used to like talking to camera, answering questions about me. I'm sorry for waiting for it a few weeks longer. It's been a very busy few weeks. We've been doing something I still can't give details into, but it should be published very, very soon. Something pretty cool. Other than that, I've been kind of avoiding it because of the given circumstances. Recently, I've been avoiding touch with the public and yeah, just social media or talking to people I don't really know. I've found my life more peaceful and less stressful without all of it, especially when you go to social media and you mostly just see negative news or something that's going on in the world that's not good, and there's a lot of it, which is not something I myself think I should be bothered by, or like it's good to know some things, but it's like sometimes it's just too much. So just spending and enjoying my everyday life and talking to my friends and my family who are far away from me is um, how I'm enjoying myself. I'm going to start with the Q&A and I'm going to answer the question that is probably the hardest and weirdest to talk about, but how am I? And I am doing very well. Passing away 2 months ago. You have a whole different perspective on life and how things are and how things are gonna be and what we are all gonna go through someday. And well, I have to take the best out of everything. And yeah, seeing someone fall ill, someone I care and love about, to a very disgusting disease is something really eye-opening. And it just told me basically that one day we're all gonna go away from this planet, and that you have to approach life with the best way possible to make yourself and people around you happy and enjoy what they're doing. And I had hard time dealing with it in the beginning. I mean, in terms of it was hard for me to focus to play, and it was hard for me to scream at times, like practice. I was very emotional when we would lose, and it also had something to do with playing bottom again after playing Midland, which is just a different role that doesn't fit me very well personality-wise. So because of all of that, I took a break to spend some time with my mother, and that helped me a lot. Really enjoyed my vacation, my mother, and then my friends afterwards. Kind of miss it now, but it basically helped me a lot to understand where I am and where I want to be. And as of right now, my focus is entirely on League of Legends and this year's Worlds. Basically, I think we have a pretty good shot. So regarding all that, I'm feeling very, very good. There's also the project we're doing with G2 that I'm pretty happy about, that I have a chance to do. And yeah, I'm just basically I'm getting back into playing League a lot, and I'm playing a lot of solo queue now. Well, not nearly as much as Caps does, for example, but for my measures a lot. And I think I'm doing pretty well. I'm kind of smurfing recently, so I think I can keep it up. And now there would probably be all of it for that. And let's go on to next questions now. Which AD carry do you want to be meta for Worlds? I did have like 100% winner with Zaya last Worlds, so, and Kai'Sa as well. In case you guys didn't know, I was a Zaya Kai'Sa 2-trick. So I would love if Zaya and Kai'Sa became meta for Worlds. I think they are very good AD carries. Like, I mean, very fun to play, very fun to watch. But I don't mind this current meta right now. I like some variety, and I think now you can play more stuff than you could at the beginning of Split. I also like Twitch a lot. I don't know if Twitch can be meta anytime soon. I think he needs some buffs for that to happen. He's just way too weak. Are you looking forward to Scream, play solo queue in China? Do you think this will make a difference this year in preparation against the LPL teams going into Worlds? I'm definitely looking forward to Scream and play solo queue in China. I wasn't sure how I felt about it before, going to China and getting quarantined there. But I've come to the peace in mind that I'm going to enjoy it, I'm going to like it, and I usually really like the bootcamp environment of a tournament. Like the mindset you have going in there, like for example, playing solo queue and not knowing any player's nameplates. I don't know which one is gonna int me when I go into game, which I kind of already know on New West, and I already know like who is a one trick and how they play, and like sometimes I'm already just like basically tilted going into game because I know what I'm gonna get, and that's pretty bad to have. So playing in different servers is always very refreshing. Do I think this will make difference preparation as LPL teams? Well, it could also not. That's very debatable. I actually feel like if last year, for example, against FPX, we stuck to our strategy and we just played something we were comfortable with, like some mid-majors, instead of like playing Pike first time in the finals. I think we had a pretty good shot of winning against FPX. I think we just kind of got scared of what they play, and we wanted to try to counter that, which we usually do, and it kind of backfired. Yeah, even right now, when I look at the LPL meta, I'm not really agreeing with everything they do. So I'm not sure how it's going to affect me or my bot lane standpoint of view. But I do think it can give us more insight, obviously. And I think it's going to be really fun because we are all going to play, like all the pros are going to play on the Chinese server. And we're going to meet each other a lot, probably. So everyone's going to come somewhat to the same conclusion on the meta very early. That's what I assume, at least. Yeah, it should be fun. David, what is the craziest thing you've seen someone do at a G2 Pro Gamer house? I don't think there's anything like giga crazy. I've seen like so many things happen in this house for the last few years. I don't think there's anything that's like, wow, that's crazy. Like nothing is really like outstanding to me. Like everything is kind of normal. Like if someone was like record us and see how we behave, they would probably think that's like really funny or something. But for me, it's just everyday interaction. The craziest thing I've seen is probably like Jankos. Like Jankos is probably the craziest thing I've seen at the G2 Pro Gamer house. He's just ultra hilarious. Jankos is the treasure. Get Can, what is your favorite Croatian food? I don't really have something that I really enjoy to eat. I kind of just like most food. I really enjoy food, but I don't have anything like specifically. I really like a dessert called kremšnite. There is a town near where I live, a small town, and it has the best kremšnite in the whole world. And every time I'm home, I go there to eat them. That's probably what I like the most. What's your favorite quote or motto? I don't actually have a quote or a motto. That's my favorite one. Yeah, I'm very sorry to not have a favorite quote or motto. Yeah, I don't know. What kind of tips would you give to AD carry mains trying to climb from mid-diamond to Master Plus Challenger? Hope you're doing good. Thank you. And what kind of tips I would give? Well, if you want to play solo queue, I think my biggest tip is basically you start to understand that right now you're an AD support, you're not an AD carry anymore. And so you basically just play for your teammates. Like if you, let's say, have a Rengar one-trick pony in the jungle, and even though he might be like a toxic and he might be like annoying to play with, you just play around him. You play around his jungle path and you play around his like full clearing. Basically, you just try to play around your teammates and you try to not to die. That's kind of what AD carry was about. Unless you want to duo queue with someone else, then it's much more fun because then you can actually play to win your lane and you can play to snowball the game. I personally prefer that. How to improve synergy in bot lane? I assume you are duking with someone already else when you say that. There is like many things to do to improve synergy bot lane. Like I started watching anime with Mickey last year, so we come more to the same wavelength. We talk a lot about what we want to do and how I want to play certain matchups. You just basically have to be on the same page on what you're doing. Yeah, how do you want to approach lane? How do you want to approach the game? And if you guys want to have fun or you guys want to, I don't know, play try hard, and just being on the same page and practicing. I don't know how you exactly improve it. Sometimes it has to also just click. What's the meta you had the most fun playing in? Season 8 Worlds was like really fun because Midland was really broken. Like it was like Akali, Aurelia, and Aatrox, and I don't know, LeBlanc. All these like playmaking champions, they're really aggressive on lane. But I also really liked Season 7 Spring, like MSI meta. It was like Syndra, Orianna, LeBlanc, Ari, Rise, like all these champs. They were really fun to play. You could really see that who was better, like on lane, that meta. But I also really liked the bot lane meta last year, actually at Worlds. The Kai'Sa meta was giga fun to play. So it's hard to choose between which one exactly. But one of those three is what I really enjoyed. I like when meta changes and it's not the same thing. So I enjoy changes and variety. Who is most underrated mid laner and AD carry in LEC in your opinion? I don't know, dude. Like maybe Abedaga. He's been really smurfing this last week, but I don't know how I don't know. I don't actually check like Twitter or LEC broadcast because I don't know how they're actually rated. But Abedaga has been performing very well in recent weeks. Maybe Rasmus is the most underrated mid laner because some people were saying he was not the best mid laner in this split. But I think he is by far the best mid laner in this split. So maybe he's not rated highly enough. And the AD carry, AD carries are really good. And the thing is, I don't know how well rated they are. Upset or Carzy or something like. I don't know how people rate them, but yeah, it's hard to say. What's your favorite skin? I don't really have a favorite skin right now. When I was younger, like in season 4, I used to be a Zed one trick, and I was really happy when I could buy Shockblade Zed, and I would just permanently play with the skin because it was really cool. I think maybe Shockblade Zed is maybe still my favorite skin then. I don't really play Zed now often, unfortunately. Maybe at some point I'll do like a Zed to Challenger stream. That could be quite fun. Any book that you recommend? I don't actually read much recently, but I've been reading the Battlefield of the Mind, and it has helped me a lot with realizing how my perceptions are sometimes wrong and how I can see things differently, how I can change my way of thinking about specific things. I used to be like fairly negative regarding a lot of situations, even on scrims and on improvement or progress. It used to be very like result reliant rather than like in the moment reliant on things, how I'm dealing with things and how my teammates are dealing with things. So that book has helped me understand a lot of things better about myself. The Battlefield of the Mind. What's your favorite thing about each member on the team? I've been with them for so long now that I just know what is my least favorite thing about all of them. I don't know what's my favorite thing about them. Martin, he's very funny. I think Munder is really has good humor. I like his humor. I also like when he tilts and gets triggered, even though he doesn't really think so and he doesn't really want to admit it. But he gets triggered pretty fast. I trigger him very very nicely. Jankos, I really like to socialize with Jankos, especially with other people. I think that's maybe like my top 3 favorite things in my life. Like when we meet other people with Jankos, that makes me Really enjoy my time there. Socializing with Jankos is my favorite thing. Erasmus, it's really hard to have a favorite thing about him. He just annoys me a lot. I think that his his jokes are something that's pretty funny because they're like so bad. It's really hard to understand how can someone make like such bad jokes on such a like frequent occasion. And Miki, favorite thing about Miki is just he's just very handsome. You know how that goes. It's probably not gonna like that answer, but that's how it is. How are you dealing with stress currently? Just same as usual. I enjoy walking outside, like after scrims, when it's starting to get dark, and just having like 10, 15 minutes of relaxation from the rest of the world, and just walking alone is something that's very nice for me. Something I started doing this year. How would you describe your relationship with Carlos? Very good relationship with Carlos. Well, we're just pretty close friends, I think. I feel comfortable talking to him about pretty much anything. And we've talked about a lot of things. Funnily enough, we both have very similar point of view on things, I guess, and interests, I guess, in free time as well. I think we are a very good match. He's a bit more crazy than I am, like in the head. But yeah, we have a very good relationship. I am very grateful to have such a good relationship with my CEO. What would you like to do as a passion living if you weren't a pro player? I don't know, because I dropped out of school after my second year, and at that point, like when I'm 16, I still don't really know. I don't think many people know what they want to do in life when they're 16, and if they do, good for them, you know. I did not know what I want to do. I actually don't know. I'm really grateful for the fact that I can be a pro player and maybe bring esports to new heights in the future. Who knows? When did you release in Croatian jersey, and do you ever get any Balkan food in Berlin? That's a very good question, actually. I don't know where G2 is releasing a Croatian jersey. I really respect your tweets, dude. I see them. I respect that. I wish it's gonna happen soon in the future. It might happen. And do I ever get any Balkan food? No, not really, no. I tried cevapcici once, and they were pretty bad. And after that, I just decided I'm not gonna eat that. If you're about to give your younger self an advice, what would it be? Don't have any advice, really. I realize that I don't really do well from advices. I have to do something myself and just learn from myself or from other people's mistakes, but advices, they're too hard for me. I think everything that's meant to happen is just meant to happen, and yeah, it's just how you take it and how you move on forward. What champion do you think is the best to main mid lane? Maybe Akali, which is pretty fun. How big does a role talent predisposition plays in becoming a great player? In general, not necessarily becoming a pro in a team. I think it plays a pretty big part, like in everything in life. You just have to kind of find yourself in what you're good in. Somehow my life took me to being very good at League of Legends. I think that there is only so much you can do in a specific area unless you are basically like meant for it. For example, even if I played 10 hours of football every single day, like I don't think my body would allow me to do that in the first place, and I don't think I would be able to ever be good enough in football to make it to professional level. Could be same for league. Like not everyone can focus in the same level, not everyone can see things in the same way. What is the best moment in your professional gaming career? Well, it has got to be winning MSI, I guess. Yeah, that is probably like even today, like the most surreal thing that has happened. It's basically like just me roll swapping to bot lane, and then like Miki hasn't practiced for like 2 months, and then he just like has won like 3 games on screen before MSI, and we just go into MSI and we are just winning like every single lane, basically just doing pretty well, even though we haven't had much practice. Like that's just pretty insane to me. What is your all-time favorite movie or show? I don't think I have like an all-time favorite movie or show. Like, it's too hard to say. I do like the Tarantino movies. Tarantino movies are very nice. I like them a lot. I guess I also watched Gladiator a few months ago. I actually haven't watched many movies. I think Gladiator was a really good movie, but I don't know if that's my all-time favorite or not. Don't really have, maybe. Well, The Last Dance was pretty good. I like the one a lot. Go-to karaoke song. I don't have a go-to karaoke song. I usually just sing whatever I have in my mind. Usually just butcher the song completely because it's completely out of my league. I like high voices, and I really can't do those. So, which character in the game do you dislike, hate the most, and why? I really dislike Yumi. I think I will never be bored enough of talking about Yumi and how annoying she is and how stupid this champ has been made. I really wish that Riot just accepted that they fucked up and they just removed the champion from the game. There is absolutely nothing more annoying than this little cat jumping from character to character and just hitting them and being invulnerable. It's like so unskilled and it's so anti-fun, and everyone hates playing it and everyone hates playing against it, but when it's OP you must play it. So yeah, which is one of the most important aspects of winning, to learn master first, such as wave control, etc. Also thoughts on Ari as a champ. Well, Ari as a champion is pretty outdated. She's very easy to get ganked for level 6, and I think she just misses what everyone can do in this meta, is one-shot someone. She doesn't have any damage like what she used to have, and I think that's just it. She just sucks at dealing damage. Unfortunately, she is not that great right now. One of the most important aspects, well, it's just probably knowing when to trade. I think all good mid laners know how to trade and when to trade. And I mean, they know a lot more than that, but I don't think there is one single thing that's most important. It's just everything is there. There is nothing specific like how to trade, when to push, when to roam, when to base. It's, I guess, maybe like 5 questions you should ask yourself. Key to staying consistently driven to success, and how have I been dealing with the burnout that comes with it? I'm not sure what the key is to consistently being driven for success. It's just inner motivation that comes from within. It's not something that I control. Like, I will be a pro player as long as I find myself worthy of being a pro player, and I find myself being driven to work for being the best. It's not even if I'm the best, it's about if I want to work to be the best. Say if we lost the split and I would still feel motivated to want to be the best, then I would still say a pro player. That obviously comes on like beginnings and ends of years to see how I feel. Because sometimes during the year, it's very normal to lose motivation and to, like in long regular seasons, which are honestly pretty pointless, like this spring split we just played and we got first, we won the spring split, and doesn't matter shit actually, like absolutely nothing. Like Rogue got the worlds over us by being 5th and being first, and we were 1st and 3rd. So it doesn't make any sense. That's basically my making a point that regular seasons are long and pointless, and it's hard to be motivated during them. Dealing with burnout, well, I think I got much better with that. It's just about keeping a balance, like a good balance in life. I think that comes up with everything, not just me specifically, but just having a good balance and knowing what you want to do when, and even if you don't want to do those things specifically, if they're good for you. So for me, the more I have in life is the more I feel happy playing League. So friends and family bring in a big part in that. This is the most important thing to do in order to build team synergy. I think spending time together, getting to know each other on a personal level is very important. Knowing how everyone is on their own and how they are within the team, enjoying the time spent together. It's also very important, because if you're just there to come to work and peace out, I think that's not gonna work well. If you're a best friend in your team or we're like friends, it's the same level. I don't really have like a best friend for a long while. I have a lot of close friends. I don't even know what is like a best friend. I think that's, I guess, not really a term I'm super familiar with. I've some friends that are very close to me, so maybe I have more best friends, but they're basically all, I'm really close to everyone, I feel like. I don't think there's someone specifically that I'm more close with or not. I think that's the beauty of this team, is that I have like something relatable with everyone on the team. Really enjoy it. I think it's not good to be like super good friends with someone or super good friends with someone else, just because that will kind of ruin the team cohesion. But I was trying to spend more time with Miki and Erasmus throughout the last year than I was with the other two, because they were the new members. Do you think that anyone with patience and passion can join a pro team? I don't think that anyone can join a pro team. As I mentioned earlier in this video, I think you do have to be in the right path for it. Like if you do think that you have it in you, then you can pursue it and you can get better. But if you like, you have to be real with yourself and you have to see like, am I actually gonna be good at this or not? So I don't think anyone can do everything. It is possible though, but this is such a hard question. Like for me, like it's, I always look at some examples. I'm thinking to myself, oh, there is like no way I could ever do this. So I don't know if there's a way that everyone could just do this, because like I could never like paint, or I could never draw, and I could never like do things like that. So there is people who could never do this. So yeah. So this is happiest memory. My happiest memory is probably just spending time with my family. When we all came together, my sister that lives really, really far away, she came as well, and we spent a few weeks together as a family, and that is just a very nice thing to have. Felt very, very, very good. So that is my happiest memory. From which season do I have a favorite memory from? Is there anything like to change in the current meta? I really liked season 7 bootcamp. Like when I was there with 2017 G2, right? I think the bootcamp was very nice. We were improving quite a bit and we came to some conclusions. I feel like slightly too late, and that's why we didn't just get to that next level. But I felt like we were like really close to the point to like breaking through of all that, like Korea is better than EU and China is better than EU and all this. I feel like at that point we were already pretty close to breaking through it, just not quite close enough. So I think that was like the point where I would change anything in the current meta. I would change the way the drakes work. I think that they're pretty stale for the game. Like everyone knows what's gonna happen when you go for the drake, and if you get 4 drakes, you are just going to lose the game. So it's very often you can't really trade objectives and you can't really pressurize hard the map because you must get drake. I think that's slightly lame. We still have to do it, right? We are pro players, can't complain too much. I'm going to stop now. I hope you guys enjoyed my Q&A. It was quite a long one. I don't think I've done, I haven't done anything like this before in my life. It was slightly weird, but you know what? I hope you guys enjoy this Q&A. And it's like really, really hot in my room. I don't know what's up with the weather right now in Berlin, but it's really hot. And I hope that you guys are not as hot as me right now, because I'm burning. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for spending time. Make sure to like, subscribe, and no, I'm joking. And have a nice week.